welcome to the DL Gaming Podcast. I'm Bobby.
I'm Amanda.
I enjoyed the hell out of my Mother's Day. It feels like I got the Mother's Day because, I worked and then I came home and like food was prepared, and then she let me nap for 2.5 hours, and now I'm doing a podcast. So
Wow.
I feel like a fucking asshole. No, I did get her stuff. I got her oven mitts. No, I didn't buy her household appliances this time. I bought her. She wanted fruiting plants, so we got tomato plants and jalapeno plant, and I went small. I went small because she is the murderer of all things. So we'll see how this goes.
Well, hopefully it's a gift that keeps giving, and then you have a whole bunch of jalapenos and tomatoes. You
Fuck
know?
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day to any of the mothers that are listening, or even the fur baby moms, or if you're a mama like Emilio, then yeah, happy Mother's Day.
Yeah. You have family in.
I do, yeah. My sister and her husband are in this whole weekend right now. They're staying at a hotel, hopefully getting their swims in, because we are from the swim state, so definitely wanted to swim. And yeah, they are leaving Tuesday early in the morning. It's been a lot of fun so far. We went to the safari park all day today. We have walked like more than 12,000 steps and up and down all kinds of stuff. But it's cool because they live in a city that's a little bit more on the hilly side as well. So they've been able to keep up no problem. And it's been awesome.
They seem super chilled, like down for whatever, too.
Yeah, it's been pretty fun. They've been down for whatever. And they really wanted to go to In-N-Out, so we took them to that.
Yeah.
But
and
you
they
know,
like it? Or?
They loved it.
Oh,
yeah, they
good.
loved it. They thought it was really good. And it's been a lot of fun so far, just showing them around San Diego and all the different kind of stuff, because we did Balboa Park and we also did Mission Beach, and tomorrow we're doing like Coronado and seeing the sea lions in La Jolla. And so trying to do a lot, because with them being Eastern time zone and me working so early, we actually all wake up naturally by like 7 in the morning, and I feel like San Diego doesn't even begin to roll out of bed until like 1 p.m.
It's super true.
It's like,
so true.
It's such a ghost town driving around until like 11 in the morning, and then that's
Vegas
when you start
too.
seeing people. Yeah,
Vegas is like 5 o'clock till you see people on the floor, on the streets. Bobby, if you're gonna somebody came and visit you, you're gonna go to do one thing. What would that one thing be?
One thing in San Diego,
Yeah.
got to go to the beach.
The beach.
Yeah, you got to do the beach.
Which one?
I would go to La Jolla Shores.
Oh, sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's a popular one. All right.
is on the
So,
plan.
hey, video games is our thing.
that's right.
Well, first of all, what do you got for DLG Con?
Oh, right. Thank you. So, DLGCon, the document, has been launched today. You can find that in our Discord, and you can find our Discord by going to dlgaming.net. In our Discord, there is a channel called DLGCon Planning. And if you select that channel, the last thing that was posted in there was this document, and I also pinned it. So you can see in the top right corner, pinned messages, select that, and then you'll see the document that has all the information, including how you can purchase your tickets. Message me if you have any kind of questions. You can message me at Days. I believe my number on Discord is 9944. And so I'll answer any questions that you got. And, we were really excited to see everybody there. It's going to be in Austin, Texas. We already have a pretty full roster, I think. We've got a lot of people that have already signed up for rooms, so they're going very fast. So definitely check out the DLGCon Planning to get all of your information for that. And yeah, you're definitely going to be hearing a lot more about it as well, because it's going to be an awesome and amazing time.
Document so vanilla. Can we go with like the DLG Con manifesto
Ooh, yeah.
or something?
Yeah.
I really don't even know the full definition of manifesto. One thing about waving to people on this camera, it's such a tight-in shot. You have to wave right in front of your face or make up some new kind of wave. And that's how Luna waves, like, hi. It's just like a cerebral palsy wave or something.
Imagine her to be like, oh, see. 'Cause she was saying that nonstop for the longest time.
Yeah. Bobby, you want to put the cherry on top? You always wrap things up pretty well.
Put the cherry on top of that.
Yeah.
Who waves like that? The way you're waving your hand is no.
the
That's
queen.
how like
Yeah.
the
The
Miss
princess.
America or something.
Princess Diana was known for waving like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just a slight side to side.
Yeah.
Say, yes, I'm judging you all.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I'm deflecting all your insults.
It's the Miss America way.
That's
All
right.
right. Well, let's talk about some video games here on the radar, games that have come to our attention recently. This one is an old one, but a new one. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe just released April 27th, a little while ago. So the Stanley Parable, you probably remember this game from back in 2013. It was this, God, talk about branching narrative. Like, this was just a game where you played a character who woke up in an office with no people in it, and you just walked around, and a narrator would narrate everything that you did. Pretty famous narrator, too. British guy. I remember him doing a lot of things. But everything you did would be narrated, and it would lead you to other parts of this big office and factory, and you would explore little by little, and you would eventually die. Like, there was a lot of points where the game would end, but then you'd play again and you'd try a different route, and you discover different parts of the story. It was a really interesting game, but it was one of those games that was more like this narrative experiment. And I remember playing a pretty good amount of this, but not like a whole lot. I played enough to really understand what was happening here, and I thought it was pretty cool, but not much more than that. Apparently, there's this new Ultra Deluxe version, which not only expands on the game, but reimagines it. So I don't know what all that means. I think they've changed a little bit, but also added quite a bit.
That means they want more money, Bobby.
Yeah, well, it has almost been 10 years, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's okay.
The Lambo needs gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat, though. I wonder how different it's going to be from like the original one. Because Emilio, did you play the Stanley?
I always stayed away
did.
because I thought it was too creepy. Just the idea I thought was creepy.
It is creepy. Yeah, it's got a creepy feel to it, but it's definitely more psychological. Like, you would psych yourself out of going into a room,
Right.
which I did. But like, I still went into the room anyway, because when I played it, I played with friends, because that's what gets me through scary, creepy games.
If you stream, we talk about it all the time. If you're streaming, it makes what you thought was scary just kind of like totally palatable. But you know what's interesting about this, Bobby, is there's like a meme going on right now about the back rooms. Do you guys know about the back rooms?
No.
I only heard about this because of I don't know if it was Hogglefosh. I was streaming something, and he came in and started talking about how he was downloading these free games based on the back rooms. The back rooms is basically like a horror version of the Stanley Parable. It's like infinitely randomly generated yellow rooms in the back that just go on forever, and like there's voices and all this stuff, and it's just kind of like how repetitive they are and how they go on forever and the unknown and all this stuff. So people, it's not even a thing. It's really just a meme, but people are making videos, they're making games, and they're making all kinds of stuff. And it would tie in perfect with the Stanley Parable. But anyway, it's creepy and I'm staying away.
All right. Well, this game is $25. I can't remember how much the original Stanley Parable used to be, but I remember it being
It's cheap.
cheaper than that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
That's pretty
kind of
high.
up in the price tag there. They were offering a discount if you previously owned the original Stanley Parable, then you get a third off the price. I don't know if they're still doing that though. I think it was for the first 2 weeks. So I think we're just about at the end of that. But yeah, I guess it's nice to see this game come back. Forgot about that one.
Yep. So Steam had this like hard to explain video game sale. It was like roguelites, Souls-like, and one other genre. And they were all in there, like tons and tons and tons of them. And apparently, I was in the roguelike tab, and I'm like, how do I not own all the ones in here? I know some of these, but apparently everything I like is roguelike, because I clicked on roguelike and I own the top 15 of them. They were all in my library, and I love every single one of them. They were pretty strict on their definition of roguelite. But anyway, I picked up a few more. So one of them is Seraph's Last Stand. It's 89 cents right now, or it was during the sale. and it looks super super simple. It's almost like a Space Invaders type thing, where you're a wizard running around on the floor and crazy amounts of bad guys come at you. But also, as you're doing that, you're gaining XP, and then as you level, you pick one of 3 options that pop up. And it's one of these games where like it encourages you to break the game. So as you build yourself up, you're trying to get synergies that go crazy, and so that you can kill the insurmountable amount of bad guys that comes through. It's super simple looking. It's black and white for your part, and then the bad guys come in, and yeah, they're like, kind of like Space Invadery. But yeah, it's all about, for games like this, kind of like Vampire Survivor, where you're just trying to you play so that you could get that one run where you're shooting light bulbs out of your asshole and you kill everything on the screen at once. And that's why you play these games. For 89 cents, I'd buy that for 89 cents.
Mm-hmm.
The game is originally 99 cents, and they've got a 10% off deal, making it 89 cents.
It's overwhelmingly positive, man.
I mean, at that point, it's like, come on, dude. In for a penny, in for a pound. I mean, really?
They had to join the sale. Otherwise, they wouldn't have made extra sale. Now, how much money do you think really went into that guy's or whoever's account, like at the end of this day?
Well, Steam takes a third, right?
Yeah, so like $17.50 is what they made after like selling 100,000 copies or whatever.
Yeah, jeez.
Wow.
Dave, you got
Oof.
one thing.
I got
saw
one
this.
thing. Yeah. So, like, the next podcast, I'll have a lot more stuff to talk about because, like, this week I've got off and I plan on playing a lot of video games and hiking. So, looking forward to that. But this past week, no, I've been busy with a ton of stuff. So, yeah, I saw this game. This looks like a lot of fun for VR. It's satirical. You are a gigantic but good-hearted tentacled beast just trying to find their place in the world is how they put it. You are like making friends and solving puzzles and kind of going through somewhat of a storyline, and your arms and your hands are these huge tentacles that you're using to progress through the story and build things. And this game just looks like it is hilarious, and it would be a very fun game in VR is what it seems like to me as well. So has definitely made my radar. It's available now. It's called, well, what did you call it, Emilio? Because
Tentacular.
I would read that as Tentacular.
Tentacular. I like that. So much better.
Yeah, it is Tentacular. 9 out of 10, a class act. That's what they rate it as. Yeah, so this looks like a lot of fun. You might scroll down. I can't remember how much it is. I want to say it was, okay, so it is 20% off right now until May 16th, and that brings it to 20 whole decals. Decals being dollars, so $20.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're basically a kraken helping out the little seafaring town, huh?
Essentially,
Yeah.
You're good natured, but it seems like you do a whole lot of like, oh, geez, I meant to grab this and I killed the villagers.
Yeah. It's
like
VR Fumblecore.
Yeah, it is VR Fumblecore, you're right, and it
Which
just
is
looks
good.
hilarious.
Yeah,
So,
for
yeah.
sure.
You just grab your two
Oh, and this
tentacles
is where
and
we're
eat a
talking
whole
about-
car off the side of the road, dude.
We were talking about this last week where, like, it was that city builder that you were talking about.
Right.
And we're like, no, you want to grab things, you want to throw them, and you want to have fun. This looks
That's what
way
this
more
is.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. This looks fun. And it looks like it has actually like somewhat of a story and quests and, people interacting with you as a creature. So that's, oh my God, he just picked up like a hamster ball with a person in it and just yeeted it through a whole bunch of rings. That is hilarious. That's just, this game looks like it's going to be awesome and a lot of fun to play.
Speaking of VR, I think, I've been looking at used indexes, which there's a guy selling one in Chula Vista for like $600. I think I'm just going to pick it up off him. He hasn't replied to, we talked a little back and forth, but hopefully I pick it up from him. It looks like it's in good hands. Besides that, I also picked up Rogue Legacy 2. I remember it had it had so much anticipation, me and Bobby, for this game. And then it came out and it kind of had a lackluster launch. And I feel like they kind of smoothed those things out because the reviews are definitely better now than they were at launch. And Rogue Legacy is like one of these great roguelites. Probably one of the best ones. just because of the way that they integrated the way that you get your extra abilities between runs. So you're a knight. It's a 2D platformer. You go through these levels. You get in gold, and every time you die, you become the offspring of the last knight. But the offspring takes that money that the guy made on the last run and builds up this castle. The bigger your castle is, the more possibilities you have for the offspring, right, Bobby? Am I right? Something like that.
Well, I mean, there's upgrades you can buy, upgrades, weapons, and yeah. I mean, it operates the same way that a lot of roguelites operate, but I feel like it was one of the early ones to do that. You go out, you do a run, you earn a bunch of gold, you spend that gold on permanent upgrades, which you can then apply to your new run. And if you're really good at the game, you can get all this done without having to buy too many upgrades. Or if you're really bad like me, you just got to grind it out until you get a whole bunch of good upgrades, and then you can just kind of plow through it easy mode.
Yeah. So basically, the game finds its own difficulty.
Exactly. It's like the scalable difficulty.
Yeah.
That
you
just
work
happens
towards.
naturally. It's not a
Right.
setting that you set. It kind of happens naturally as you play.
Yeah, but you know what, Bobby? I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb here and say the guy who can just beat it on skill alone with the regular level 1 dagger, we're talking 1 in a million people, right? But that guy has less fun than we do building our builds and whatnot.
I mean, yeah, it's probably like a speedrunner, someone who's made a career out of it. But yeah, it was a good game. And yeah, they had the whole lineage thing. So your characters would have these weird, these weird abilities or disabilities that you could have. So each run was just a little bit different.
Yeah, we're talking about like gigantism, dwarfism, so you'd be really small. Right now, did you see when they were all pixelated?
I thought I saw as well the synthesasia or whatever
where
where everything is colors that you like here. They were using that as a power.
Yeah, so
Hyperflatulence, yeah.
every time you
farts.
die, you get to choose from 3 offspring. So you'll choose usually the worst, the best of the 3 or whatever, or it might work towards whatever build you're doing. So anyway, I can't wait to dive into this one.
Yep.
I bought it. It was, I don't know what I bought it for.
I was a little confused about the release because I know it came out a little while ago, but now they're advertising it as a 1.0 release. Yeah, it came out April 28th, not too long ago.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm not sure if they released in early access for a little bit and now it's 1.0.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. I'm glad I waited.
Yeah, and I assumed it was just a good game, but the gaming landscape has changed a lot since the first one came out in 2013, I believe. So I don't know if people are just really clamoring for this type of game, or even if there's maybe some old gamers like me out there that remember the first one, but I don't know if kids are really that interested in it. But who knows? It looks good.
Yeah, it does look good.
All right, the next game that I have is called We Were Here Forever, and this looks like a pretty interesting game. This is a co-op puzzle game that has to be played in co-op, and it's like a 3D adventure game with puzzles that you have to work out, but the co-op works like this. Each player in the game finds a walkie-talkie. So you're not in the same area, I'm assuming, but you're communicating with each other through voice. So you have to have a microphone in order to play this game. And you have to speak to each other and through voice alone help each other out to solve the puzzles because the puzzles are interconnected. Kind of like Portal 2 or what was the one with the book? What Game of the Year at the Game Awards? Joseph Ferris.
Oh, yeah. It Takes Two.
It Takes Two. Yeah, so kind of like It Takes Two, but you aren't together. You're actually separated, and you have to talk to each other and in order to figure out the puzzles. Maybe there's a point in the game where you actually meet up. But I thought that was a really interesting idea. I love co-op games. I love puzzle games. This seems like a very interesting way to do it. I imagine if you're playing with a friend of yours, you're going to be on Discord anyway, but the game has a built-in voice system in case you aren't. I wonder if they'll do some sort of like buddy pass for this like they did with It Takes Two. That was a great idea.
This one is like It Takes Two and a cellular network.
Yeah.
Right.
And a microphone.
And a microphone.
It Takes Two and a microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was We Were Here Forever, coming out May 10th.
And
Very
the other
soon.
ones we covered today was the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, Rogue Legacy 2, Seraph/Stan, Tentacular,
Tentacular.
and I've got a couple more. So I have Peglin, which is a roguelite RPG pachinko machine. Pachinko machine?
Is it
Pachinko.
Plinko?
Plinko? Am I way off?
It looks like it's if you were to pronounce it the way it's spelled, it'd be pachinko.
Yeah, Peglin is a pachinko
Yeah,
roguelike.
That's what I said.
See, I always thought the game was called Plinko, the one where you drop the
Oh.
thing and it bounces off.
I think because the pachinko is the Japanese game, so maybe you played a game that called like an American.
Maybe there's an
name.
American version
Yeah.
called Plinko. Yeah,
Yeah,
can we
yeah,
look
yeah.
that up?
Yeah.
Because
Or I think Plinko is the one that they play on The Price is Right.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
Nailed it.
I'm pretty sure. And it's so weird because I was literally just having a conversation a few hours ago with my brother who called it Plunko. And I was like, wait a minute, you mean Plinko?
Yeah, plinko and pachinko are two different games.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you probably don't know anybody who played more Peggle than I did. I have like 300 hours in Peggle. I had a world high score for a certain level by far. I beat the other high score by like 4 times. But anyway, I played it a lot. So every time I see, because this is not the first time this has been tried, an RPG, pachinko game. Round Shield came out, and funny enough, I was playing Round Shield
Round Guard.
Round Guard. Thank you. I was playing Round Guard last week or the week before because I thought, oh, this is a great Steam Deck game, And I did play it on my Steam Deck a little bit, and it has progressed. They put a new class in there, and I've never been really happy with the game. Everything gets stacked up against Peggle, and I think Peggle's such a great fucking game. I think where these games falter is the physics. It's not like the bouncing is not satisfying. It's like the afterthought. But in Peggle, it's the focus, the bouncing. You're like boom, 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 boom. The sound, everything is fucking great. Anyway, so I started playing this and I'm like, oh man. First of all, like it's such a simple concept. You could have done better on the graphics. That was my first thoughts. And then, you're hitting these round pegs, but they're so pixelated that they don't look round. So my angles, and I was thinking about all these things because I was so deep in fucking Peggle. And I was like, not really feeling it off the bat. This all happened in 5 minutes because I played the demo like right before this happened. But then I started going down, and it has a very Slay the Spire structure. So, branching path. Funny enough, you don't get to choose your path directly. So at the end of a level, the 2 options will be at the bottom, and you can shoot your ball down, but pachinko will ultimately will do the choice, and it might take a random shot and go the way that you don't want, which is really interesting. I like that. Also, it's kind of a deck building game. You don't have cards or anything, but the balls that you're actually launching have properties. So there's like a lightning ball, a rock that doesn't do much of anything. There's a dagger one that has great critical hit damage, stuff like that. Like, so you start to build your roster of balls that plachinkos, if you will, that you're shooting down. You're fighting monsters that are directly across from you, and they're like walking towards you. And the way you do damage is doing damage down in the pachinko game. So as I'm playing this and I'm going down, random shit comes up like, oh, you ran into an altar. Do you want to pray to the god or desecrate the thing or whatever it is? And so you can upgrade some of your balls. So like I upgraded my lightning ball, and then of course I get pulled into that Slay the Spire thought process, and I'm like, oh, if I do this and I do this, and then that's exactly when Bobby got here, and now we're here. So even though the Pegliness is weak, the Slay the Spireness is strong. And I can't say whether or not it's good or bad, but it has a demo. It's free, and you can try it out. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad that people are taking risks and, melding genres like this.
All right. And the game's $20 on sale for 18 right now.
Yeah. Did you ever play Peggle?
No.
You should.
I don't know how I feel about these games.
Yeah.
Both Plinko and Pachinko.
I could tell how you feel about these games.
Yeah.
You don't feel these games.
I'm not feeling these games that much. That's true.
Yep.
It's all right.
It's all right. There's something for everybody.
That's right.
So that was on the no, that wasn't. Tentacular was on the Devolver Digital sale that's going on right now. I've always said that they're my favorite publisher because they like what I like. I love all their indie shit. That they're batting 99% with me. So one of the games coming out for them is Cult of the Lamb, and I'm trying to piece together what this is exactly. All it says is like you're a lamb that was spared by like this demonic force, right? Like you're about to be killed, and then this demonic force spared you, and all it wants in return is that you start a cult and perform these crazy rituals by conscripting a bunch of like other woodland creatures. And so you end up with like all these woodland creatures worshiping this demonic thing. And that's pretty much it. Like it seems to be like an action adventure. It also seems to be like almost like a 4X-y thing that you're doing on a different map. But it's super cute, but also like dark at the same time. Some of these rituals look like it's dark shit. Like they're hurting themselves and stuff. Whatever it's like, flagellation or whatever that's called. Yeah, so I don't know what this is going to be, but some of the people that saw it at Gamescom said, like, game of Gamescom and stuff like that. So it looks fucking awesome. I think
this looks
really cool.
amazing. It
Yeah.
looks like evil Lil Bo Peep, dude.
Dude, you nailed it. That's what they should have called it.
It's evil. No, I love the Cult of the Lamb because also the way that they do it, it makes me like all I can hear in my head is "must be the season of the witch," but instead it's the season of the lamb.
Yeah.
Like, this looks awesome.
It's very like, yeah, dude.
It's just coming out in
I'm digging
2022. They
Yeah.
don't have. All right.
I'm digging the whole vibe. Yeah,
I'm digging it too, dude. Yeah, it's definitely evil little Bo Peep.
yeah.
A bunch of fighting and just cool shit. That looks awesome.
What do you think, Bobby?
Yeah, it looks pretty good, but you're right. You can't really tell what the game is. I mean, it's
Yeah.
categorized as action roguelike, dungeon crawler, roguelite.
Yeah, there are action sequences you see, which almost look like little Binding of Isaac rooms. It looks like it's like a small room, and then there's some exits, and you keep going. So that's the dungeon crawler part of it.
Looks like there's boss fights as well.
So that's Cult of the Lamb, and I also just talked about Peglin, which is maybe the cutest name of any game this year. Peglin. And I think that does it for On the Radar.
Yep. All right. Let's talk about some games that we haven't played. Looks like you played a lot this week.
No, I just have 3 things that have really, really long names. So Ender Lilies, Quietus of Knights. John bought me this for my Steam Deck because he knew I was going to Hawaii. It's like I have I don't know, a what do you call it when an anonymous when they leave roses on your car and stuff like that. What's that called?
Secret Admirer.
A secret admirer, yeah. But it's not so secret, Like I know who the admirer is, and I get these gifts for once in a
So
while.
you just have an admirer.
Yeah, I have an
This is a
admirer.
Diddy admirer.
Yeah. And so, like, yeah, man, I totally need a Steam Deck game that I could play while I'm on the plane, and then come back and do exactly what I'm doing now. Talk about a video game. It's overwhelmingly positive on Steam. It's a 2D Metroidvania Souls-like. There's a lot of black and white and highlights of red, which you've seen a lot, but it really emphasizes it puts the oomph in the blood. And you're like the one of the last priestess of the light. The world's gone to shit. Everything's got souls. The things have been tarnished. It's bad, and you go and kind of like save them from damnation. And some of the times when you save these things from damnations, they give you their abilities, and you go on and play them. And I'm not giant on Souls-like games, and boy, is this game hard! Holy shit! Like I played the first hour and a half, no problems. I'm like, this is kind of like fine. It's interesting, blah blah blah. And then the difficulty started, and I'm like, whoa, what am I doing wrong? There's no hand holding in Souls likes a lot of the time. So I don't know if I'm playing poorly or I haven't explored enough and got all the abilities that I need to get. And that's part of the charm to these games, I guess, is that like you don't really know what the problem is. So you go and you try all of these things. Here are my options right now, right? I went to a boss and it was not happening. Like I fought this guy for about 15 minutes. I learned his but I was doing so little damage that I know that I don't belong there. So I have my options are to go and grind mobs and level up, or keep exploring until I get enough abilities to challenge him and have enough special attacks to kill him easier. And both of those are valid. But yeah, I'm not. It's not that I don't enjoy it. It's just the wondering how I should get through this, or if I bark up the wrong tree, would I'd be wasting all that time doing that? You know what I mean? Like if I just stand around and I'm just leveling up and grinding, and then that's not what I need, it might be a waste of time. But I am enjoying the game. Yeah, that's about it. On the Steam Deck, it's not perfect for everything. And this would be a great game for this, but this is one of these games where your character is really small on the screen, and I got old fart eyes now, so legibility is like becoming an issue, and so she's tiny, and so there are legibility issues on that tiny screen. I would need something with a little bit bigger characters and stuff like that, but it's zoomed out a little bit too much to tell exactly what's going on. And in a game like this, like every little move counts. But I would put it a recommend for anybody who's into Souls-like or Metroidvania, and if you like both, 100%. Yeah, really. Yeah, like I said, overwhelmingly positive. And thank you, Not So Secret Reminder. That's
Nice.
Ender Lilies, Quietus of Knights.
All right.
Nice. I'm going to talk a bit about Demeo first, the PC edition, just because I love that game. So another little tidbit thing that I learned, there's all these like kind of hidden strategies that you could have that they don't necessarily tell you about in the game until you are playing and exploring it and like, learning it on there. Like they're not going to just be obvious about it. And one of the things is that you can shoot spider webs onto enemies, and anything that is tangled is going to get attacked by spiders nearby. So what that means is that if you were to launch spider webs at like a bunch of hound masters and goblins and other creatures, if there are enemy spiders nearby, they will attack their friendlies instead of attacking you just because it's tangled. So there's all these elements that you can do when you're going through a dungeon and a run to like help utilize things and use the environment. And I've always loved that kind of strategy, where you're just like, okay, let's throw a gas lamp here so that way we can hit that, and then every single turn it increases by like a 2x2 radius of wherever you're at, so then we can like lure monsters into coming through a very specific area that we're controlling to then kind of damage them, and then we could just pick them off right when they're near the end of life, right? And so that kind of stuff is just, it's awesome. It's fun. I love this game. I keep playing this game. Keep telling myself I'm going to play other games, and then I end up just playing this. So It's awesome. I still love this game. You could definitely play a lot, even doing solo. You can create your own party. You can do 1 to 4 people when you're playing by yourself and go through a book with yourself. It is a bit harder, but it's a good way to learn what each does. We realized that in the third book, when I was playing with a few of my friends, that it was very difficult, and for a while I was under the impression, along with a good chunk of my friends, that the bard is like so OP because of the support it does. But we actually found an entire book, which is book 3, where like you wouldn't really want to be the bard because you end up missing a turn of attack and you need to kind of come in and just fight and attack. So something like a wizard instead would actually be more beneficial and helpful. So there are levels and there are runs where, you necessarily wouldn't want what you would imagine to be like the most OP character in this, which I like because it does force it to kind of change it up. You're not going to be somebody that only plays a tank or only plays a bard, because different levels do call for different characters, which is awesome. And you got to figure out which ones, which I like.
So wait, did you say that you could play this game single player?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's single player and it's multiplayer. I definitely advise playing with friends, though. It's obviously absolutely more fun with friends, as everything is. But this game is in my opinion, also a lot of fun doing solo. And because they make, like I said, so you have a book and there are 3 levels into the dungeon of that book until you get to the boss. And so each of those levels is completely randomized, which does make replayability pretty fun, even when you're playing by yourself or with friends. And so and that's also something too, where like when I was playing with my friends, we jumped into one and the first door we opened was like literally fucking everything. And we got annihilated and we were like, okay, we're going to lose. Let's back out and restart it. And then we had like an easier, more manageable, like run after that. So you can kind of reset them if you're just kind of like, this is too hard. Or you could try and, if you fail, it's fine. You can reset that as well. You can also, if you're playing with a group of friends, the person that hosted the game can save and quit. And then when they replay the game, they can go back to where they were. So you can actually stop a game in the middle of a book with your friends, save it, and then come back to it, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's helpful. Nice.
Hey, Bobby, wake up.
Yeah, I'm trying, man. I'm telling you, I'm so tired today.
It's hard being a mother.
Yeah.
Okay, the other one, all my shit has the longest names. Idol Champions of the Forgotten Realms. I listened to Critical Role. All the people who have taken my recommendation on Critical Role, like, they're all loving it. If you have the time, it's one of the best time wasters ever.
Agreed.
Every campaign has 400 hours of content, and they're on their 3rd campaign. Anyway, this was one of their sponsors for a bit, and they like one of their first sponsors, and they like pushed it so hard. And then I took a look at it. I was like, oh my god, this looks so bad. Like, you're basically taking a group of adventurers, and they are scrolling to the right, and it's an idle game, right? So you're like doing party management and a lot of clicking and stuff, and everything there turns me off. The graphics are bad, like it's just not very good. But I was like, they supported it. Let me check it out. It's free to play. I'm in. It's worth the fucking download to try to support them. So I start playing it, and yeah, it's fucking crack, man. Like, it's built from the ground up to just be so addicting. And it's not very idle at all, and that's what all the reviews will tell you. You have to be You don't have to be. There's almost no penalty for death. You can literally just walk away from your computer, and your team will just automatically respawn over and over and over until they're strong enough and then move on.
But you make more progress if you're sitting at the computer.
Way
so there's
more.
always that enticement.
Multiple, 20 times better, right? So there's a lot of clicking, or you just take your little mushroom guy that clicks for you, and you put him anywhere on the screen, and he'll automatically click for you. So if you put him on the battlefield, he'll do click damage. And click damage is something that you can spec into and build it up, and it'll kill things on its own. Or you could take that little mushroom and put it on one of your characters, and he will level up that character by default nonstop until, and you could just walk away, and that one character will just keep leveling up as you gain gold. Um, and a lot of the things to look out for is like formations and the abilities that you're unlocking for your characters. So they will level up on their own, but if you click on them, they level up if you spend gold. It's all about gold. Everything, that's the one resource. As they level up, they get abilities like everybody in front of this character gets 200% to damage. Or somebody else would be like, everybody around this character will get 100% to damage. Or somebody else would be like, this character gets 400% damage if he's in this position. So you're doing a lot of like switching around of these characters in this like formation to try to maximize all their abilities together, so you're doing the max amount of damage. And it's fun. It's really addicting. And I guess I would call it a good game, but fundamentally it's just like trying to addict you and having you sit there. So if you just need to kill a lot of time, this and don't have a lot of money, this is pretty good, especially if you're into like Dungeons and Dragons, because all the spells, like all the classes, everything, it's just straight out of the handbook and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. And there is a lot of, what are we looking at, DLC?
Yeah, this is all the DLC, and there is quite a bit of it. Do they have microtransactions in the game, or just this DLC is how they
No,
monetize?
there's gems. You can buy gems to open treasure chests that you get.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean,
there's an in-game currency you can buy.
yeah, fundamentally, though, like, this game is built for time wasting, right? And then if you're spending money to accelerate your time wasting, you've got problems. Like, you should definitely just play this for free. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not a big fan of games like this because it's just gross to me. It's like really enticing children to gamble in a way, you know? So I don't know. But then again, the next game I'm about to talk about is Pokemon Go. So what the fuck do I know, right? Like, talk about a game just like that in terms of that model of, yeah, the point is to try and make as much money as possible. And so, yeah, another game just like that. Yeah, Pokemon Go.
What's going on with Go?
I just wanted to make mention that, like, when anybody goes to a zoo or any of those kind of touristy things, like when I went to the safari park with my sister and her husband, the Pokemon Go is such a great mobile game to play when you're doing all that stuff because there's Pokestops everywhere and Pokemon everywhere. And I mean, my sister and her husband play Pokemon Go a lot because they also live in a city. I do think that this mobile game is probably, in my opinion, the best, especially if you live in a city and you're walking around because of all the Pokestops and all the things you can do and all the people you can meet. And
What's a Pokestop again?
a Pokestop is like when it's typically it could be a landmark or it could be a business. I know that Starbucks has like a bunch of Pokestops, and you essentially click on it. It looks like a big, huge Pokeball that's like a sign, and you spin the Pokestop, and you'll get like a gift that you can send to your friends. You'll get like raspberries that you can use to make it easier to catch a Pokemon, and you can get different Pokeballs and stuff too. So you get a bunch of items and
Question.
things.
When you're at a Pokestop and another player is at a Pokespot, are you aware of that?
No, other than like, you know, if somebody's hanging out by a mural,
Right,
like
like-
staring at their phone, spinning their thumb, then I know that they're trying to catch some Pokemon.
Right.
And I don't know, this game is great. You can do a thing on here called like Adventure Sync, where if you have any kind of Bluetooth device or your phone on you when you go for walking, it will, once you open up the app, it will retroactively apply that distance to like your eggs, because you can incubate eggs to hatch Pokemon. And so it'll apply it to that, but it won't be sucking up your Wi-Fi and your battery life the entire time in the background. It just waits until you load up the app, and then it kind of runs through, like I have a Fitbit, so it would run through that, and it applies the steps and the distance walked to all of my things that are attached to that. So a lot of times when I go into Pokemon Go, it's just like another egg's hatched, another egg's hatched, another egg's which is satisfying.
Is there battling in this game?
Yeah, there's battling. So that's fun too, because you can find a gym and you can actually team up. Like one of the things I was doing, so there's 3 different teams. There's Team Valor, Team Mystic, and Team, I think, Instinct. I honestly don't give a fuck. I feel like the yellow team is the ugly stepchild. I don't care. Team Valor all the way. But anyway, my sister and her husband are Team Mystic, and you can join in with other people to kind of take down a gym. And so there was a Team Valor gym, and my brother-in-law was like, "Oh, I can dwindle down one of the Pokemon to knock one out, so you can put one of yours in." It's like, sure. So you can kind of work together, and like we work together, all 3 of us, to take down and do these things called raids, which are like when a big, powerful Pokemon takes over an entire gym. You could work with a bunch of people to attack that Pokemon, and if you beat it basically into submission, then you can try and capture it. And so there was a Charizard today in the
At the zoo?
safari park at the zoo park, yeah. And so my sister's never gotten a Charizard, and so we all worked together to get her first
That's
Charizard.
fucking dope.
Yeah.
All of this sounds great to me. What's the how do they make money?
They make their money through like having a limit in your items, and so then you would want to buy more storage, which uses Poke Coins, and then you can pay real life money to get more Poke Coins to use in the shop, which has all kinds of things from vanity to like lures that draw more Pokemon to you, to like raid passes to allow you to get into these raids and fight these high level Pokemon. Or like I said, what most people would need the money for is probably Pokemon storage, so they can get more Pokemon, and item storage, so they can get more items at these Poke Stops.
I've always thought that selling storage is one of the strongest ways to monetize your game,
Yeah.
because it doesn't it doesn't make the game of development focus on money making, because you're just trying to make the best game possible, and then you have to pay for this other like convenience. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
That's why what is it, Bobby? The free dungeon crawler,
Path of Exile.
Path of Exile, has been around forever, because they don't try to monetize the gameplay; they monetize the storage.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's one of the best ways.
And what's actually really nice that I will give Pokemon Go credit is that you actually can gain like in-game Pokemon currency. Like my sister and my brother-in-law, I don't think they've spent any real life money, and they still can buy and upgrade storage. And it's because if you beat Pokemon in a gym and you put your Pokemon in that gym, the longer it stays, the more money it accumulates for you defending this gym. They're paying you
Right.
for your Pokemon to defend the gym. So you actually are making that currency in the game and never have to spend like a real dollar. But if you do, then yeah, like it's great. You can absolutely pay for it and add more storage and just keep going. But I really wanted to talk about Pokemon Go because fuck man, I need more friends on it. So if any of you motherfuckers play this game, please privately DM me in Discord as Days and like let me know what your friend code is so we could be friends, because I am drowning in gifts. I want to gift you with flavors of Pokestops all over the nation. I still have shit from like Philadelphia and Detroit, and I'm just like holding on to it like, no, I need a friend to send this to. So please be my friend in Pokemon Go. And then when you come to DLG Con, we can trade Pokemon together, and that would be even more exciting. And you can catch all kinds of different Pokemon in different states, which is really fascinating because I've noticed that other states do have different kinds of Pokemon hanging out all the time.
Sounds like a great fucking game, man. It really does.
Well, it's great if you're going to, like I said, if you're going to go to the zoo or if you're going to be down in a city, because there's just shit everywhere, you know?
How'd you
But-
like the zoo?
Well, before I went to the zoo, but today was the safari park, and I
safari
loved
park.
it. That was a lot of fun. That was
Yeah.
really cool.
Which one do you like better?
The zoo, I think. I
Yeah.
think I like the zoo better. Yeah.
I looked up, like, when we were there one day, I was like, all right, let me look up, like, the best zoos in the world. And we were either number one or number two on every list.
Yeah, you're
in the
world
world.
known. Yeah. And I think to me it's just because at the zoo they have way more space. It felt to me like the safari was where like the maimed creatures went to like stay. Like it's more of the conservatory side of the whole operation, whereas the zoo was more of the showcasing side of the whole operation.
Yeah.
So they have these huge, massive exhibits that just feel completely open, like especially the birds. I saw it the most in the birds. In the zoo, they have these enclosures that you can actually walk in. So you could be walking and a toucan or whatever could come up and land right in front of your face. That is amazing. Whereas same toucan would be in the safari park in like the closet. It was so tiny. But they would have signs being like, this bird is flightless from an injury of growing
Right,
up.
right,
So that's
right.
what I mean. I think it was more of the rescue side of it, you
Yeah.
know? It's like you could go to like a dog show where they're showcasing all the dogs, or you could go to the pound, you know? Which that's the kind of a savage
but al-
comparison. The safari park is like much nicer than that.
But also conversely, some of the animals get the biggest enclosure,
That's
which is
facts
like
too.
they have like they have a savanna basically.
Yeah, and I rode that. They have the Africa tram that you
Yeah.
could ride, which is just like a big I don't know, like golf cart with like a golf cart train. Yeah, it's like a golf cart train. And you go through like the savannah, and that is cool. You're right. Like the giraffes are ballin' at the safari
Oh,
park,
yeah.
whereas the giraffes at the zoo is like, here you go, you get a little piece. It's like a bunch of little old ladies, because I remember it was all like little old lady like giraffes at the zoo, whereas. Yeah, in the safari park, that's true. They're just like, please thrive.
Yeah.
And, so-
Yeah.
and the antelope too, and the buffalo, they're living large. That's true.
I always tell this story. I took a girl there for a date, and she said, "Look at the rhinoceros." And I said, "The what?" She said, "The rhinoceros." I said, "How long have you been saying that?" She goes, "My entire life." I said, "It's a rhinoceros. That's what they're called. They're called rhinoceroses." And yeah,
That's where you're like, yeah, and it's tentacular. Tentacular. Yep, I fucked that up. That's fine.
another game that lets you build the top currency in it, and why I love it so much, is Magic the Gathering Arena. Yeah, you can gather gems by just playing the game. Not a ton, but enough to like you could actually play this game for free. And they realize the thing is they realize that players are a resource, and you got to give players that aren't going to spend money enough incentive to keep playing. And so anyway, but unlike them, I spend money on this game. I said I would not spend money on this new fucking set, and
You
I
so
did.
called it, Bobby. You called it. We
Yeah.
were talking about Magic the Gathering rising up on like the top talked about and tagged podcasts.
Yeah.
And we said that you're going to be rising MTG. Yeah.
So this new set is called I don't even know. I've never even said it out loud. Streets of New Capenna. Capenna. Sorry if I fucked that up.
Capenna.
So the art style is Art Deco, which I totally appreciate. It's like like
Like Bioshock.
Bioshock. Thank you.
Like Bioshock Infinite.
And I always think like how this works out. Do they just tell their artists, "Hey, this is the style we're going with. Try to adapt," or they go and find artists that do that style? I don't know. I don't follow the art side of it, but I appreciate it. Like it looks good. Scroll down, Bobby. You can see a bunch more. So it's about like these 5 mob families that rule this city, and there's a lot of cards that generate and manipulates citizens. So it's story wise, it all makes sense. Like, all these mobs are just kind of manipulating the masses, and so I'll bring it up for infinity. I enjoy when cards and story and art all come together. I don't have any stand out like, oh my god, I love these cards. Like Japanese art is so hard to follow up. Like you just good luck. The last set, Kamigawa, was some of the best magic art I've ever seen, especially the lands. And I'm glad they went with something completely different, because if you're going to compete straight up, it's just not going to happen. I'm not saying it fell flat at all. The artwork, it just, yeah, it's a hard act to follow. I bought the $50 like pre-sale thing. I got a bunch of fucking cards, but I haven't even had enough time to start really integrating them into my decks. I'm playing like pretty actively. Like I play at least 5 games a day, and I'm not even seeing other people play the cards yet. They're also not integrating them into the game yet. It's just a little too much all at once, you know. Little by little, you'll see them trickle in. But yeah, I haven't seen. I'll see 1 or 2 cards, but I haven't even seen a new Capenna deck yet. So, it wasn't so giant that it was like completely game changing. You could totally like not even buy this thing and still compete because everybody's playing the old shit anyway.
Still looks like a cool set, though.
Yeah.
Like I said, like you were saying with the story and the mobs, like that's awesome. I haven't really seen Magic the Gathering go in a mob direction. They had the clan, like the Sons of Tarkir and like the clans of Tarkir and shit, but like
They're getting crazy now, man.
yeah,
They're getting
this
crazy.
is,
Like,
yeah.
you know, the last one was supposedly cyberpunk, but I really think that they're sticking. They don't want to lose a bunch of people from losing fantasy, so everything has fantasy in it. It's like half fantasy, half some other shit. So we don't know what the fuck's coming out, man. It could be anything next.
But I also love the way that they're labeling a lot of these things. Like they're instant. I just saw an instant that was like, have a little chat. Like we're gonna have a little chat. Like these things and like the public enemy, you know, or rooftop nuisance. Like it's
Yeah. It's all like, yeah.
it's great though. Like
Yeah.
the security bypass and we're gonna make them sleep with the fishes.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah,
fucking
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's hilarious.
It's all like
Gangster mob shit.
exactly.
From like the
yeah, Sweeney Todd and stuff. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. So, but I nor the other players know what the fuck's going on yet. It's too much all at once. It's been out for a week. It takes time to integrate these things, and yeah.
Well, I'm sure we'll hear more about that, with, especially with Nick.
Yeah.
All right. I've been playing more co-op this week. Halfway through Act 3, Nightmare, I'm back for blood. Getting through it, but progress is slow. It's slowing down. The big news is Deep Rock Galactic had their Season 2 Season Pass come out, Rival Escalation. And the big thing here is the new secondary guns. So now there are 3 different primary guns for each class and 3 secondary guns for each class. I've fooled around with all of them. The Engineers one, really, really good. But the other ones I haven't quite figured out how to make work yet. But they all have interesting, different things that they do. For instance, the Scout has a crossbow where you can actually retrieve the bolts, and you can also shoot different kinds of bolts. So he has a pheromone one where if you shoot it, the bugs will attract to that. So if you shoot one of the big guys, the little grunts will go attack, which he has a grenade that does that as well. But, you know, the shooting crossbow arrows might be a little more a better way of doing it. So I don't know. There's a lot of playing around that I have to do. But yeah, that's the big thing with the Season 2 pass.
Did you buy the Season Pass?
You don't buy them. They're free.
Oh, they're free.
Yeah, they're all
Whoa.
free. Yeah, which is crazy.
Well, Season 2 started, then not the Season 2 Pass, right? You know what I'm saying?
They call it a pass.
They do. Okay.
Even though
my
it's
bad.
free.
All right.
The other cool little thing that they do now, another thing I want to mention, there's a lot of bugs this time around. This always happens after a patch, but this one in particular, there is quite a bit of bugs. And yeah, they're annoying for a little while, but they always patch them out. So little updates here and there will fix that.
I wish this. I've thought about this about these guys before. I love how much they put out for free. They're just trying to make a really good game, and more people will buy. They got to be a little more greedy. Not a lot. I'm saying like 5-7% more greedy.
Well, they have a lot of DLC. I mean, the DLC is really starting to stack up here. So usually when they come out with one of these free things, they'll come out with like an $8 pack. And the game itself is not that cheap. I mean, it goes on sale quite a bit for $15, but it's a $30 game. And they keep selling more and more copies of it because it's really good.
Yeah.
The other little touch that I liked is when you fail a mission or you die during the mission, don't make it back, You know how you spawn in the med bay?
Yeah.
You now have one of those hospital gowns that you spawn in, and you wear that to your next mission unless you go to the wardrobe and change out. Just a
That's
little
funny.
touch that I like. But
That's funny.
yeah, so I will be playing more of this. A lot of people in Discord have been playing it. The other thing I've been playing, Sea of Thieves. Really enjoying that game. Had a different experience this week. So I played with a member of our community, Captain Gummy, who is, the expert on this game, Sea of Thieves. And that was an eye-opening experience because, first of all, we played on a galleon, the 4-man ship. And it's a whole nother game when you play on that. You really have to have a captain and somebody calling the orders and everybody working. It's a lot more work, but a lot more risk. Like there's a lot more things to do. It's a bigger boat. Things are far away. So you really have to be on top of things, and you have to have a 4-man crew. You can't like take 3 people on this type of ship.
Now, you
But-
said more difficulty, more things to do, but is it more rewarding?
Oh yeah, you're on a
Yeah.
bigger boat. You have more cannons. You have more sails. Like yeah, it's a better ship.
More opportunity.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
you can get more money. Like I remember one time when I played, there was 4 of us playing Sea of Thieves, and I think I was with Captain Gummy as well, and he was captaining. And if you get a really good captain, like it's awesome. You could almost farm stuff for sure, because we would just find sunken ships and take turns and create this kind of like assembly line thing where we just stacked the galleon full of treasure and then sold it all, and we just made a ton of money in like a short amount of time because we had a team that was working together to do that, so it's cool. Yeah, you get more reward.
Yeah, you can really get a lot done. But it is a totally different experience, much like some of these other games that I've played, these naval combat games, where it's really all about the chain of command. You have to have someone at the top calling the shots and then other people following orders. And if people do their own thing, it's going to fall apart pretty quickly. It's not like that when I was playing Sea of Thieves on like the sloops, with 2 players. It's not like that at all. But when you get to the 4-man ship, it definitely is. But yeah, I'm having a good time. My suspicions were confirmed, though. Like the game requires a lot of time. I want to start doing some of the tall tales, which are these longer missions, but I don't know if I can do them in segments or if I have to do them all in one shot. But it is a huge time commitment. There's a few things that I learned that you can do pretty quickly and just get a bunch of rewards, run them in, and be done with it. But it is definitely not a game that has like those stopping points like Deep Rock Galactic or Back for Blood where you can check out and just cash out on your supply points or cash out on, the gold that you made. Like you really have to, if you don't see this through and run your treasure into the end, it's just all lost, which can be a little frustrating, but at the same time, I really enjoy playing this game. So even if something bad happens, it doesn't feel like a total loss.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely going to be playing more of this. Having a great time. Just in co-op heaven over here this week, dude. Sea of Thieves, Deep Rock Galactic,
Yeah, fuck
Back
yeah,
for
man.
Blood.
Glad
Nice.
you're enjoying it.
All right. Apparently, Songs of Conquest did not come out this week. Comes out May 10th. That was the game that I was hoping to play, but
Bobby, I sent you a message today about that samurai game. that
Trek to Yumi.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scroll
Very
up.
cool.
Sorry, Dates. I just want to recap everything that we talked about. We talked about Demeo, the PC edition. It's also VR edition. Ender Lilies, Quietus of Knights, Idle Champions, Forgotten Realms, MTG, Magic the Gathering, Streets of New Capenna. Somebody help me out.
Capenna? I think it's Capenna.
Capenna?
Or it'd be Capenna.
I would say
No, it's probably
Capenna.
Capenna.
But I don't
Capenna?
know.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
And Sea of Thieves and Deep Rock Galactic.
And Pokemon Go. Add me as a
Pokemon Go.
friend.
Is this the first episode Recycled has not been been here in like forever?
It could be.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Do we want to talk about Project Zomboid?
No.
Yeah, we'll save it for
not
next.
this week,
Yeah.
right?
Okay,
no,
yeah, we can
'cause-
save it for next.
'cause
Yeah,
Nick-
we'll save it for
It
next
was Nick's
week.
game and Nick's
Yep.
not here.
Yeah, we're saving that for next week. That's
Apparently-
Project Zomboid.
He got drunk up Prosecco.
As he should.
Just another
Mother's Day.
reminder, DLG Con is a thing. Go check it out. If you're not on our Discord, that's the first step. It's free. Just get there and just say hi. Just See how that goes for you. That's it. Just you don't even have to say hi because everybody's alerted that when your person comes in.
That's true. Just
And
pop
they're
on
almost
in.
always like your dick is sucked immediately, or clit is licked, whatever. Yeah, and from there you can check everything else out. But yeah, DLG Con. It's like one of the highlights of my year every year.
It's always so much fun. It's some of the most fun like I've ever had, and it always continues to be. There's board games. All of us are hanging out. Like I said, this year we're going to have an entire lake at our fingertips and a pool included that's heated and a hot tub.
Think
We're
about
gonna be
how
close to
many things in
Austin.
that lake you can slice your foot on.
I know. I can't wait, dude. All the things to slice my feet on. Actually, I have sliced my foot on in a lake on some zebra mussels.
know.
I've really done that. Yeah.
God, that sounds like it hurts.
Yeah, I'm a klutzy bitch. That's why I'm scared of the Pacific Ocean. But anyway, things I am not scared of is talking and answering questions, because why not? So moving on to our listener questions, we've got the first one from Zap, who's asking, so what's the story behind the Discord and Steam profile picture?
Oh, mine's really easy. On Discord, I have a little dancing bear, and on Steam, I have this like pulsating like Nova fiery red thing, kind of like the guy who runs Mordor. What
Sauron.
Sauron.
Yeah, I have Sauron.
Yeah, shit like that. And literally the only reason is I have a premium on both of those to get the moving one. And that was the moving one that first appealed to me out of the selection that they had. Like, it is not cool at all. Bobby has a way better story.
Yeah, well, that's boring.
Yeah, it's so boring. It's so boring.
Yeah.
It's like, I need to get my money's worth, so I'm going to pick this one. That's basically what it is.
Well, Steam started doing this thing where they have the point shop. You spend money on
Yeah.
games, you earn points, kind of like a credit card, and then you can spend that on like things to upgrade your profile. And one of those is avatars. Now, you can put your own custom avatar, which most people do and have always done, but the only way to get an animated one on Steam is to buy one of their specific ones.
Yeah. Now, Bobby, you get 1 point for every dollar spent, basically, right? Is how it works, or whatever the fuck.
No, it's more than 1 point.
You get
isn't
some
it?
decals or whatever it is.
I think
Oh,
it's
you
like
get 100.
Yeah, I think 100 points for every dollar.
For every dollar.
Yeah.
So if you
100
buy something like the
shekels for a
Steam
decal.
Deck, I'm swimming in fucking.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're good.
So I went and bought fucking everything, and I still don't feel like decked out. I go to your profile, and I'm like, damn.
Well, you can buy like extra spaces to put stuff in your profile. It used to be tied to your Steam level, but now it's like it's not like that. But it's somewhere else on there where you can just buy like showcases, I think they call them. Yeah, like
Yeah,
different slots.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, my profile's pretty busy right now. It's got a little too much stuff on there, screenshots and.
And then the
Got a
story
lot
behind your
going on.
Discord picture?
Oh, well, I use the same picture for everything, and I always have. I never change it. It's the ski free guy, and it's cool because it's just like if you know it, you know it, and some people know it. Some people will be like, "Hey, it's that game from like Windows 95." I'm like, "Yep, that's the thing. This guy gets it. You're in the know." But that is happening less and less, and it's kind of I don't know why.
Because those people are dying, Bobby.
Yeah, they're moving on. They're moving on. They're having children and they're doing more important things with their life rather than playing video games. But it's always, I mean, Ski Free was always a pleasant memory for me. It was one of the games that came with Windows 95. And I don't know if other places in the world have this, but we used to have a place called Price Club, then became Costco.
Yeah.
But back in the day, it was called Price Club. And my parents would go there and they would shop for like forever. And when you're a kid and your parents are shopping, it's the worst, right? But at Costco or Price Club back in the day, they would put out like Nintendo, Sega Genesis, or computers, and like you can go up and you could demo them. So I would always go up there and play the games, playing like Sonic the Hedgehog or Echo the Dolphin or Super Mario Bros. But the PC section always had, this is like Windows 95 days, so it always had like the default games, which was like Ski Free and that shitty golf game. So I just played a ton of Ski Free, just standing there in Price Club waiting for my parents to finish shopping for like an hour and a half. So, and I loved it. This is before I had my own PC, and I thought it was the best thing ever. I would look forward to it. Like, we're going to Costco. All right.
Bobby, the whole like you either get it or you don't get it. I don't know why it reminded me of this joke that Louis C.K. says where he's like, he's wearing his favorite shirt, and his favorite shirt is like Beaver Fever and has a picture of a beaver, something like that. And he goes into a fucking Starbucks. He says, I went to a Starbucks or whatever people are or whatever. You know how he is. And he's like, and I saw somebody with the Beaver Fever shirt. And I was like, hey, man, like, fucking, we're both wearing the Beaver. See, like, hey, like, fucking.
We've got the Beaver Fever.
Yeah, the Beaver Fever. And the guy's
Fever
like,
Bros.
and the guy fucking blew him off. And he's like, bro, like, fucking get away from me, you weirdo. And he's like, the one time I tried to connect with another human being over something that we mutually like, and this guy fucking blows me off, makes me feel like the weirdo. And he said he got home, looked in the mirror, and he wasn't wearing the shirt.
That's great.
Yeah. Anyway, Days?
The story behind my Discord and Steam profile, I guess, is kind of boring and also very much not. I'll start with the more boring one. The Steam profile is a picture of me in drag as Days. So to me, Days has always been like a character that I've kind of created in my head of being from like another planet, like from Pluto, if I were to pick it, because I'm still of the generation that believes Pluto is a planet. I created the character and like it looked like her in my Steam profile picture. So it's me, but it's me in drag. And then in my Discord picture, it is a picture also of me out of drag, but in Antelope Canyon, Arizona, which is just like this absolute
Vagina
magical. Yeah, kind of. Like they're like bright orange and red and yellow without any kind of light or filter. I mean, there's like the sunlight obviously coming in, but it is one of the most magical places I think I've ever seen is the Antelope Canyon.
They're
and
like
a lot of the
wind
canyons
swept,
up there. Yeah,
right?
it's so like it's just like smooth the grooves through like all of the canyon walls and everything is just bright orange and red and purple and yellow, and it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful magical place, and it is like so humbling too because the canyons are so enormous and they create that weathered smooth walls from just storms rushing through and flooding through, and it being minerals and rocks and things that the water has picked up and kind of basically sanding the walls down as it gushes through. And then once the monsoon season's over with there and all of that water dries out, that's how you end up having those kind of hollowed, like smoothed out walls that create this really cool thing.
At the end, they end up looking like kind of like pottery.
It does in a way, almost like a ceramic kind of thing of just, but it's like an entire, I don't know, like snaking of pathways. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's an incredible place. If anybody ever has the chance to go to Antelope Canyon or the Wave, Arizona is another place that's a lot like that too, but it's kind of more opened up instead of the Antelope Canyon being more enclosed off. But that whole area is incredible, like right over by the Grand Canyon and things like that. So
you need to take pictures in drag in Antelope Canyon, and it'll all come together.
That's so much work, dude. That's like so 3.5 hours, 4 hours of getting ready just to drive like 4 hours to be there. Take one selfie, have a bunch of people look weird at me, maybe attract some mountain goats, and then go home. Like, I go to those places to hike.
Profile picture.
Yeah. But I had the ultimate experience instead, and I just made that my profile picture. That's what I did. But yeah. Next question. Also from Zap. Thank you, Zap. Zap Marconi is always coming in with the double hitters and multiple questions. We appreciate that. So Zap asked, what video game character would you like to make a mom? And I just want to interject, what way do you mean this? Just instantly a mom, or are you trying to subtly ask us, what video game character do we want to fuck?
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure which way you're taking. I'll answer both. Well, you guys could go first because I got to think a little bit.
I'm so lame, dude. Laura Croft's so hot. And she's rich. Like, my kid would never have to worry about anything ever. You know? But otherwise, I remember I will never, ever in my entire life remember the name of this game. Bobby always helps me out. Bobby, it's the fucking RPG where you can play as a pacifist. And, like, fucking graphics are really bad. And the bad guy at the end was a dandelion.
Undertale. Yeah.
Undertale, yes. The motherly figure in that was like a cow lady, and she was so nice. She was the nicest. She just took care of you. She didn't want anything bad to ever happen to you. She's the ultimate mom figure. She's fucking fantastic. And you have to fight her. And spoilers, you can get around it without attacking her, but it takes a lot of patience, and I didn't have the patience, and I hurt her, and I felt so bad. that it hurts me to this day. But I hate that game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure how to interpret the question either. That sounds like a like I've never heard that euphemism before. Like I'm gonna make you a mom.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
That's I've never heard anyone say that. But I don't know.
What's his name? Fuck, that crazy black dude that's on. Fuck, I forget his name, but he's like, I'm getting everybody pregnant. Like when he walks into a room.
Oh, you're talking about the guy that was on SNL?
Yeah, for a brief amount of time. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he was on 30 Rock.
Yes.
Because he had that line in
Yes.
30 Rock where he said, I'm
Yeah.
going to take this burger behind the dumpster and get it pregnant or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. Yeah, he's
Fuck.
got like a girl's name for Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, Tracy Morgan.
Tracy
Oh.
Morgan.
Everybody's getting pregnant.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Who would I make a mom? What video game character would I make a mother? I don't think I'd want to do that to anybody. I feel like
Whoa, dude.
I don't know, man.
Happy
I've got
Mother's
skewed
Day.
views on motherhood. It seems like a nightmare to me.
It's rough, man. It's rough. They
like
have it worse,
like the
for
act
sure.
of giving birth and then also raising it, and then like through many stages for like the next 20 years. It's just like, well, there's your fucking life out the window. Sorry.
My Sam is like, you get to go to work. And I'm like, what? I get to go to, and yeah, dude, it's like she sees like me shoveling mud out of a hole and escape from this fucking hellhole of children's fucking expectations. It never ends, dude. There's no end. Even when they're taking a nap, you're fucking washing their clothes and shit like that. You know, it doesn't end. It's a lot.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I'm way more aligned with Bobby with that one.
Well, happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Yes, happy Mother's Day to everybody.
All you moms out there.
And to me, I mean, I think the video game character that I'd like to make a mom, both
Ooh.
ways that you mean that, it's gonna be my first crush from video games, man. Hitomi from Dead or Alive 3. Doubling down on that one. And because one, she's hot. I'd love to make her a mom. Two, the other thing is that I think she'd actually make a great mom. She had like such a story where she worked her ass off, like doing karate and shit, and that's some good discipline. So I think she would make a very smart and a very good mom, and create a kid with a good head on their shoulders.
There you go.
Yeah, there
I
you
like
go.
it.
Yeah.
Good parenting
Bobby?
skills.
You get out of way too many of these with the I don't know.
Yeah.
'Cause
if you had to-
I just don't have a good.
You don't have
answer.
to have a good one. Just
Yeah, I
fucking
do.
say
Otherwise, I'm
something.
wasting people's time here. I'm not going to give like a lame answer.
You think later is
You're wasting
saying, "I
people's
don't
times
know."
by
Yeah.
dancing around the
Yeah,
question, dude.
exactly.
No,
There's
if
a
I
lot
don't-
of buildup with
If
no
I don't have a
fucking-
good answer, I'm not going to sit here and give a lame answer.
All right.
I can't do it. I literally can't even think of an answer. Like
You can't
are
even
you-
think of a
I mean, are
video
you
game
asking
character
what
you'd
video
want to
game
fuck.
character I'm sexually attracted to? I don't
When
know.
you say it like that,
Like-
it takes all the magic away.
I don't know. I mean, they're like all designed to be, like light posts with melons taped to them. So I guess like all of them. I don't know.
all of them.
We're making everybody's getting a Mother's Day in the video game world today,
Yeah.
according to Bobby. He's gonna make them all a mom.
Yeah.
I gotta take a leak. What are we playing next? I'm playing all that stuff that I bought on on the roguelike thing. I'm gonna play some Peglin. I'm gonna play some what are the other ones called? Seraph's Last Stand and Rogue Legacy 2. So that and hopefully I don't want to play Zomboid by myself. I want to play it on the multiplayer. Bobby and I tried. I think maybe it worked out after an hour and a half. We probably worked out.
We figured out the best way to play it, I think, and
I
that is to
think.
join one of the public servers that has other people playing in it, because then it's a good one. But we found a pretty good server, and we could fit a lot of people in there. So I'd like to get a pretty big group of people.
That'd be good.
together.
Shit,
Yeah.
should I get
Yeah.
this game again?
No, because I think it's gonna be around for this 1 week. I think.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know
I
if I'm
think.
ever going back to it after this. But I think if we got enough people in there, we could have a good time.
Yeah.
Especially now that we know what we're doing. Songs of Conquest coming out May 10th. Probably going to check that one out. And then more co-op games.
Not the samurai game, Bobby. I don't know the name.
I'll have to see what my Game Pass situation is, but I think that is still active. So yeah, I might check that one out. But again, when I brought that one up, I was like, this looks really, really cool, but I got a feeling I'm going to start playing it and just be like, yeah, it's just another like hack and slash side scroller. So I don't know.
Days. I bumped you because I didn't want to forget. The newest Life is Strange is free on Game Pass right now. It's called
Ooh,
True Colors, and
Yep.
it just came out.
I'm
so-
gonna be probably checking that out. And
Yeah.
Tentacular.
Tentacular.
Yeah, that sounds fun. And I want to play that free to play Vampire Battle Royale. I've been meaning to play that
What?
with Neil Sprung. Yeah, dude. I
Masquerade
covered the
Bloodlines.
Masquerade
Oh.
Bloodlines. Yeah, I want to try that. That sounds
What?
like fun.
I don't know anything about this. Oh, did you go talk
Oh, we
about it
covered
last
it
week?
when you were gone. Yeah. It'll be fun. It's
Sure,
free.
everything awesome happens when I'm not here.
It's amazing. It's so much fun. We love it.
Speaking for Bobby, Days, and our absentees, masqueraded titties.
You're taking too long.
Impatient titties.
All right, I gotta pee, guys. Thank you for coming down here so late.
Yep. Oh, it was a late one tonight.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Good night, everybody. Dwight, thanks for showing up. Random task, thanks, homie. Later.
Good night, guys.